Hey guys, Cookie here. Wanted to make another quick video answering another question that was submitted via Facebook. Once again, I totally appreciate friends, family, Facebook, Instagram followers, and friends sending me questions. It's awesome. I love being able to answer what you guys are curious about, so definitely keep them coming. Thank you so much. This question is something I actually get asked quite often. The question came in and it said, for the most part, you seem like you're a very happy, positive person. I find it hard to stay positive in life. Do you have any advice on how to not, become negative and how to stay more positive, how to be more happy? It's a huge thing I think a lot of us struggle with. This is kind of my thought process on it, and this is coming from my own personal experience. I feel like we all have a core of our being. I feel like we have a, if you were to crack each of us open like a little egg, there would be this little kind of nugget of what our makeup is. I feel like for me, a lot of that is, positive energy, interacting and doing things that, make me happy, make me fulfilled. That's a huge piece of it, with my health, my wellness, my fitness, eating clean, working out, being able to share these experiences with other people. That's all kind of that, really core makeup of who I am. So for me, knowing that being positive, staying positive, being happy is a huge piece of, my everyday life and something that really matters to me, I have to make sure that what I'm doing in my life, what I'm doing day in, day out, as I'm expelling that energy, I'm bringing back in that positive energy. I know back in the past, when I was at my heaviest, I was a much different person. I was very negative, very depressed, had a lot of anxiety. I still struggle with depression and anxiety from time to time, so it's not like, oh, now that I work out, I'm perfectly cured. It's just not as unmanageable as it was then. And I feel like back then, the old me, a lot of that core piece, there was a lot of negative energy in there. I believe what we expel out into the world is what we attract back to us. So when I was more of a negative person, I tend to attract more negative people, negative situations. I had a job that I hated. I had a lot of friendships that weren't fulfilling. I had a lot of daily interactions that were exhausting. And I feel like that's a huge piece of it, is for me to stay positive, I not only have to surround myself and engage in activities that kind of replenish that core. I have to go out and do things that, make me happy and make me feel like I'm making a positive contribution to people, to things, to the world. And then I also have to be getting that energy kind of filled back up. I know now at my life, I'm 31 years old, I'm a little bit older. I don't have time or energy or space for things that are super negative or feel like they're depleting that energy source for me. If I feel like I'm interacting in a work situation or a personal situation, relationships, friendships that are just exhausting and negative, that are bringing me down, that are making me feel like, man, I'm just had this interaction, it's really upsetting to me, I kind of cut those things out of my life. I think a big piece that I really see with a lot of people that do feel it's hard to stay positive, it's hard to stay happy, is they are surrounding themselves with negative people. They say that you become like the most, the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you're surrounding yourself with friends that are, not really positive, happy people, we all have those people that come into our lives, like the SNL skit, the Debbie Downers, that no matter what's going on, they can find a way to turn any situation into a catastrophe, into a negative situation, into a, complete just downer fest. It's really hard when you are surrounding yourself with people like that, and your daily interactions are, people that kind of are finding the worst in every situation. So a big piece that I had to do, and I'm not saying it was easy, was kind of take stock of who are those people that I'm really expending a lot of myself and a lot of my energy to. If they weren't positive, happy people, if they weren't fulfilling friendships, if they weren't making me feel like they were, not only was I giving to them, but they were giving back to me, I had to limit my interaction with those people. I'm not saying that, if you have a friend that's going through a hard time or, just went through a breakup or, lost their job, that you should not interact with them because they're being negative. We gotta be there, we gotta love and support our friends. I'm talking about the friends or family or anyone that are just a general overview negative, nasty person. You see them, hey, how are you? I'm horrible. And then rattle off, 8 different things that makes today just a really awful, awful day. Those type of people, they suck that energy out of you. Also, for a lot of us that maybe are living a lifestyle that's not healthy, you know, we are eating, you know, not clean, we're maybe drinking, we're maybe going out a lot, we're not sleeping very much, we're kind of living a different lifestyle. As you start to transition away from those things, you know, as you start to transition away from, you know, hey, my typical social outing is going to be, you know, going out all night and drinking, or, you know, going to grab fast food and then, you know, staying up really late. As you transition away from those things and you maybe start to focus more on your health and wellness, you know, hey, a fun activity now becomes going for a hike, or coming home and cooking a clean meal together, or doing things like that. Some of your friends who aren't on board with that, that maybe doesn't work. You know, you may have to start to branch out and find friends that are into those things, just like you found friends that were into the old things you were into. I'm not saying you have to completely cut those people out of your life, but kind of appreciate and work with someone with what they are and what they have to offer, and don't keep trying to push someone into being something you want them to be. So like I said, if you have friends that maybe are, you know, really like to go out and party, and you're kind of trying to transition away from that, maybe it's time to start looking and finding new friends that want to, you know, do more health and wellness type, you know, activities. I think a big piece of the negativity is, you know, if your world, your job, your relationships, your situation, where you live, if everything is negative, you're not able to find happiness, you're not able to find that peace, you're not excited about any of those areas of your life, it's really hard to stay positive. If you have a job you hate, figure out something that you'd love to do and figure out a way to do it. It's not an overnight thing. None of these transitions that I've made in my life to lead to a happier life happened overnight. I didn't wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm really not in a good space, I'm really not happy, light switch, you know, presto changeo, here's my new life. It took time, and it's transition, and it's work. Another huge reason why I really recommend seeing a counselor. You know, going and speaking with a professional about, hey, how can I change my life? What steps can I take? What are some coping skills I can take? How can I set appropriate boundaries so that if I do realize, hey, you know what, going out and partying isn't something I really want to do anymore, and I want to be able to say no when I'm asked, how can I do that without burning those bridges? You know, I don't want to not, you know, I don't want to end those friendships, but I just don't want to do that aspect anymore. I personally, I don't drink alcohol. I don't go out and party. I have tons of friends that do, and I'm still friends with them. We just find different activities to do. So I'm not saying that if you have friends that do things that you're not into, or you're kind of transitioning out of, that you have to burn those bridges, you have to completely cut those people out of your life. But it's an awesome kind of self-fulfilling, really building that foundation of a solid sense of self to set those boundaries, know who you are, know what you will and won't do, and what your kind of focus and energy you're going to put out and put into, so that you can get that back. So in a nutshell, to stay positive and stay happy, I really had to do a lot of self-reflection. I had to figure out what was important to me, what fulfilled me, what kind of, you know, like I said, that little core piece, what was in that core that I needed to have that energy put back into me. Like I said, there's certain times that I, you know, think about it and I'm like, man, you know, if I was working a job I hated, or I was, you know, surrounded by friends that really didn't fulfill me, or I wasn't having awesome experiences, or I wasn't taking care of myself, I wouldn't be able to be so positive and happy and kind of see that shift. Like I said, I think for a lot of people, you know, all you're seeing on social media too is one side of someone. So that is a little piece I want to explain, is most social media is people's highlight reels, unless you're, you know, posting, you know, a lot of tumultuous things that are going on in your life and kind of sharing to that extent, which I don't personally recommend. For the most part, we share things that are exciting and happy and, you know, visually stimulating and cool, and that's only one side of someone. So as much as you see somebody's social media and you think, oh wow, they've got it all figured out, they've got it all together, everything in their life is great, no wonder they're able to, you know, get fit and do this and do that, you know, everything's perfect. It's not. So be real and understand that social media is someone's highlight reel. It's not reality. It's not the full scope of what you're seeing of someone's life. But I can say that surrounding yourself in all aspects of your life, your career, your relationships, your daily activities that really make you happy and you're giving back to yourself, is the best way to stay positive. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that answered the question. Like I said, keep the questions coming. Once again, they don't have to just be health and wellness. They can be about, you know, self-care, mental health, things like that. Just kind of trying to get on track. I know for me, when I was at my heaviest, the mental piece of it, I can't, it's gonna be too hard, I have too much to lose, what if I fail, you know, what if I look stupid, all of that plays into it so much. So really kind of getting to a space where you're your biggest cheerleader, and you're kind of able to build yourself up and have that positive energy too is super helpful. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Once again, I hope this is helpful. And like I said, keep the questions coming. I've already got a myriad of things to answer, so I will be working on videos over the next few weeks and posting them and sharing. Once again, like I said, if y'all have any questions that you want me to answer, send them my way. You can either comment below, or you can shoot me an email, coachcookiefit@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to answer them. I hope y'all are having an awesome, awesome day. I will see you later. Bye.